All right, still crisscrossing the country. Ofenste Setimo is out in, I think that's in Mamelodi. That's where there was a voting station this morning, registration center, which was not open. This was after 10 o'clock this morning. Ofenste, let me get a sense from you there in Mamelodi, east of Pretoria. Has that registration center now opened? You were telling us a bit earlier on this morning that would seem like it was not going to happen.
Thank you very much, Griselda. Well, I can tell you that the update that I have for you right now is that in Ward 16, there's about 3 voting stations that have been shut down, making sure that there isn't any voter registration that's actually taking place this weekend. Well, Ward 16 is actually part of Mamelodi East, but it's the other sections that side. Well, where we are right now, it is quite tense. If I can just allow my colleague just to show you what's happening. There are police that are actually here. There is a Nyala on the other side, and they are standing idle, just waiting for an opportune moment. Because from what we heard from the guys from the IEC, they are saying all the voting stations are, what one can call protected facilities in a way, So the police are saying that to a certain extent they will have to open this particular voting station because, it is a prerogative, a constitutional prerogative actually for people to vote. I'm actually going to try to speak to some of the people that are here, just to hear their sentiment as to how they actually feel about what is actually happening. Ausaga, when we could 11 o'clock of voting station, I saw we register with them.
Batho ba go registerwa ngori hapano ndi kale ri khou vilela nga maḓi ṱiraka I ya ḓa ya ṱuwa vhathu vha sithu fhedza u ka maḓi so ari dzi pipini a u khou bva maḓi so ri khou ṱoḓa maḓi ri nga si vote ri sina maḓi ndi kale ri na 4 years hapano ri khou wana.
But how do you feel about the fact that voter registration is not going to take place here today because of what is happening here?
Zwone ndi problem ngori obviously ri khou ṱoḓa vote. Ri khou ṱoḓa vote mara ri nga si vote nga nṱhani uri ahuna maḓi mara arali maḓi a vhuya matshelo ri nga isa phanḓa no vote or namusi nga vho 2 ri nga isa phanḓa no vote mara arali hu sina maḓi ahuna need uri ri vote.
Thank you very much. Well, that's one of the residents here actually saying that, in as much as it is problematic, the fact that, they are not able to register to vote, but at the same time, they cannot force to come and vote at a voting station where there's actually no water. But for it bare au register we go vote ka tseno lena le ikutla banga dai
yeah I re happy ka taba ra register we vote because vote was na metro vote la eng what is the way forward without vote so there's no way that they can vote
mara wa rito hore motho a leng in charge hona no ho sa mo vote out e tlo ba yena hape ne problem e tlo nna ntse e tswella pele
no ya le ntse ra se mo vote out ra officing ra no montsha no DA no ya hlola bona DA re starakela re bone le di councilor tsa rena tse ba no re ngari ya di dochi there's nothing seems real here no we are fighting that there's no voting until we get water and proper water not the water that they come from the tanks we need proper water like real people the toilet no are flush young no
Man. Well, it's basically saying that, there's no use for him, as I reiterate what I actually mentioned earlier, there's no use for him to come to a voting station where there's actually no water, where the toilets are not flushing, where it might actually turn out to be, a hygienic challenge. As you know what happened in Hammanskraal, that there was a cholera outbreak there. The residents here are actually worried that the water that they are that's being tankered to their area could actually bring them ailments like cholera because they were complaining that the water is actually dirty. If you can see at the direction of the community hall there, the community actually went that direction. They were not there. They were on the other side of the cordon. But when they heard that the police is actually trying to ensure that they are going to open the gate, they quickly rushed to the side of the entrance. And from what we heard, apparently they have welded some of the wheels of the gate into the community hall, saying that, in as much as they can get overpowered, it should be a difficult effort for the authorities to actually be able to gain entrance into this particular area. Members of the IEC are also here. They've been here since 8 o'clock this morning, just laying idle, waiting for an opportunity actually to be allowed inside the community hall, but that has not happened. But the current update is that there's 4 voting stations that have actually been shut down. There is a youth that's actually traversing the length and breadth of Mamelodi, saying that, for as long as they don't have water, after almost 4 years, they are definitely not going to let authorities come and register residents here. If I can just get someone to just throw in a few words there. Issue ya service delivery or refuse removal, water, at some point, legele Christmas, hosna mabone. Elaborate.
Renale 4 years, so one. Rena iso mo Ikageng iso. 4 years o tle re sokodisa ke metsi. In fact, di traka tsa metsi rena di re makaritse ra ba bamba because di traka tsa metsi tse he di thoma o tla mo Ikageng. Di thomile di phaka go mo Ikageng ka moholong ka mo. Metsi a tswa pila mo dipompong. Eskhalenyana metsi ala a sa tswa mo dipompong di traka tsa di a bereka. Well and good, it's a tender we see. You understand? Do you think
there's some sort of sabotage or benefit that the tenderpreneur?
Yeah, can normal sabotage and a halam. One good sis. One no who be a mood. Heading to Contuncamola since Sansi, Kibula Fester, then she said, we should go over and Sansi Timel one or Gorobal. Borama Pasavan Sogaba, Java Koravan Tipila Mood. Hebatam Batam Water for Abarmela Figilem, Palamo Water with Kovana Yankati. Renaldi Cancelara, Honano Hermolaso, and Governor Cancelara Nomu. Eleona Elunco Pelare, Eka Cancelaro. And give it to a great longer thing, Etamo, et or tus, Ashima Police among Atilum, Atlola Lerin. And I get to Watola Lerinam, but we study the state. Or this another Yagametim, or this is. And I want to be young so.
Marikutra Bianca Bonabar no, DS a crime scene and a totally movie or Bacono register.
Yes, but I crime scene because the American Evaya, by Lequabarge crime scene, but Tobalaba to Americana, Baba Banyagari Chelet. The very same thing applies to no. Honano Narniaga meeting, but all little Traga Colomo, it was a crime scene, the crime scene of young Narniaga meeting. Riame leva khekolo motsentse ba khala leva khekolo ko mara di ntuka mona ba thwala lankam ba nyaka metsi ba fidiwa ka di go nyaka dipilisi go nyaka ba nwa metsi ba no dipilisi bana o ra ro survive ba ya ngwena ka ntle le metsi. How do you survive?
Pensioner ngwanaka go re rena hona bya no re mo mathate a re khonolo tsamaisa dikiribane tsela go re tshentse maloba ke wele mo le ba ba ntsa mankisa clinicing ke khwakhwaisa kiribane hape hona bya no re mo mathateng re rile re ke mabone hona bana go thomile metsi a gore ka metsi hona bana ga ona le rothodi o bula bya ngwanaka a ka nwa pilisi a ka nwa te a ka ketano ka eng ha ona se ke nwang ka sona le boso a nkhonodia ka bone ke twa pya ka ina ona ntsenga pya ka yona
le tsa ditoro a lona a re lwadisa nna ke la le bekene ke lwadile ne ke vomita ke reka ke mala beke ka moka ke reka ke mala ele ke feta ko tleliniki ba ba mpotsa ba re ne o tse o survive ile ka ba bantsi ba tlhokofala.
Let me explain to some of the English speakers there. Basically what the gentleman was saying is that, there were some tankers that used to come and park in this particular hall. And during that period, the water was actually flowing well. It's shortly after those trucks started parking here that the water to this particular area started running short. So he suspects that there could be some sort of a sabotage in favor of contractors who would then come and tanker water to the communities. And some are actually saying that they are too elderly, to push wheelbarrows to collect water, saying that, as pensioners, they are not able to do that. And in fact, some members of the youth actually charge them 10 rands to go and collect the water and bring it back, and saying that, being pensioners, it's actually not an easy fit for them to do. Well, there is definitely tension. If we can just move a bit further, you will see that even some of the people we were engaging with earlier, they are still here and they are not going anywhere. They are saying that, this gate will actually be open. I don't know after what actions. So when Allah how ke eng bro ka ka bare tshwantse ho budiwe ho registeriwe batho
nna ke ra e budiwe gate braya ga ona motho a tlo tsenang ka 4 years o tlhemetse a stake braya
mara se metsi fela hona le dintshi popompo tse ka di issue tse tsotlhe go tla ba re le khaotse ngwa go
maratha dikontiri tsa rena ke maratha ba ja ba noshi bona ba ja le no ka e ya metsi hona le o a jang ka e ya metsi so na re nya ka metsi fela a ba tswalle Mamelodi e otlhe e tlhoke metsi he e felle hona mo
You can definitely tell that there is a dumping site that's happening here. So residents are saying even the strike by Tshwane employees exacerbates the situation because there was a dumping site, but it was not so bad. But following the strike action, it actually went worse, causing all these flies that you see flying in front of the camera and misery for the residents who are staying in Ikageng. Mama, what do you want to say?
Nna ke rata ho lla mo masepala because wa re faila re patala rent ya metsi a le ra thothamola ka here di 1 le di 2 metsi a tswa o romela batho go bontsha re ke ena re tswalella metsi o romela batho ba tlongwala di readings ka mo hae mola re rwala metsi ko strateng he ba sno wala di readings after 2 days metsi a laitswa ba tsia hape a re sa kra metsi
and good lord the bills the exorbitant di a tura thata lentse le sacrament
terena e nameletse go feta na kwela the more thotha metsi mola the more patala di 5000 gore a ke tse gore Ikageng ba nyaditse go fitla go kae ba re nyatsa because a relwe ibile ba re bitsa ditlela
wena bill ya hao e etsa bo kae plus minus e ba e romela end of the month e lo re a o kremetse
okay ha re tla mo bill re bola ka ma 1.3 1.4 ma ke ba le khopolo botsa something before ke tsena too much mall go mathomo it was a load shedding we did accept the load shedding we end up getting a special load shedding now ke metsi we going to accept the water high metsi mo rena we are going to end up getting a schedule sa or metsi atlaning hatlene wa tsantse to votela but or votela everybody on the party to vote is fine maro disa ba mo re tsere ke manyor to ema line tele o sna metsi go matlong a ra tlhapa sa mathomo re offer to the weekend re offer Monday re bola di mereko ha gona metsi mo expect re supporta government arena I don't blame any government but blame a fellow service re create mo South Africa re na batho ba because ha re tsele cop 2 ke one ntse ba tobotsa fela le khola thank you
ba ri ba Ikageng re khopela hore ba ske ba re tshwantshela batho ba ka phumulong rena ba re tsie ba re ise ka batho ba ka mo extension 4 because batho ba le ka mola ba ka se re tshwantshele bona rena re pela re sokola ba lebeletse bona fela
well Criselda I can tell you that even now the voting station is still not open and the tally of those that are being shut down by frustrated residents of Mamelodi East are actually going up. We're actually going to traverse and check around to see how many have actually been shut down. But the information that we had at the beginning of this crossing was that, there's about 3 that have been shut down in Ward 16, and then there's this one that has been shut down here in Ward 15. We'll definitely keep you updated. We're actually going to speak to the city of Tshwane as well to try and find out the issue pertaining to, the struggles for water for residents of this particular area. We're going to be speaking to the spokesperson of the city of Tshwane, Mr. Selby Bukaba, who's actually going to elaborate a bit further, and he says he's privy to what is transpiring here, that maybe he can try and make sense as to why it's been 4 years that a basic need like water has not been provided for the residents of Mamelodi East Kagiso section. Griselda.